Hi Virgo, and welcome to your Soul Story Twin Flame Past Life Tarot reading. This reading is intended to look at the journey you and your twin flame were sharing last lifetime, who you guys were, what you were working on, where you left it off, and then how that plays into this lifetime and your twin flame journey this lifetime. The male, the masculine in this life, I will read on this side. The female, feminine in this life, I will read on this side. However, if during the reading I feel your genders were swapped last lifetime, I will still refer to this as him and her just for the sake of the reading, okay? So Virgo, we're going to start by pulling two cards just to kind of see who you guys were to each other last lifetime. All right, the masculine, we have Justice. And the feminine, we have Ace of Pentacles. So I feel you guys were definitely married, okay? You guys were a power couple. This masculine could have been in, the judicial system, the legal system, the military, maybe even politics, okay? And I've been seeing that in some of the readings, actually, a really strong presence of that energy of past lifetime being in those different roles. And so I do see the masculine being in a role like that. And whatever he did, whatever, position he held, it allowed for a very comfortable lifestyle for both of them. A power couple is what I see you guys as. And also very devoted to like the connection itself. All right, so let's pull some cards to see just who you guys were in life to other people, like what your life path was. All right, for the masculine, we have Death. And for the feminine, we have the Four of Wands. So these two cards coming out, again, I really feel that this masculine held a very high position and made like the call, like could have been a judge, could have been like a prosecutor, okay? It's like this person held a lot of power, and it's connected to like legal things. And so yeah, I feel people feared him, not that he was a bad person, but just like his decision, his final say was like the top, okay? And so I just feel a lot of people feared this masculine, not because he was mean and oppressive and horrible, but more because of how powerful he was of a person and his influence. The feminine with the Four of Wands, she, I don't feel was like, I feel she was more of a wife, okay? But in that, it's like, that was a full-time job, not like serving this masculine, like, let me cook and clean for you. I don't feel that's it at all. It's more like a status, like, doing her part to be like the right, to keep the face of this connection to like the outside world. Like she really held everything together. She was his rock. Like he could count on her through thick and thin for anything and everything at the drop of a hat, okay? She had his back. She was there. She helped make him powerful and help him rise up, and she kept the home. And what I mean by that, like she was very orderly. There was children, like they were always handled, they were always cleaned, they always looked nice in his presence, the home itself, immaculate. She, like, I feel like she did a lot of like parties, entertaining, like she just was like a superwoman almost, is what I feel, where, every other wife wanted to be her, okay? Every husband wanted that for his wife because just of how devoted and educated and ladylike this feminine was. She kept it all together. She truly did, and supported her man, and he was very powerful. Okay, let's pull some cards to look at the spiritual path that you both walked. All right, so for the masculine, we have activation, and for the feminine, we have Galactic Family. Okay, so this right here tells me both of you were very much in tune with your spiritual self, with your soul. And in that space, like, even though you guys were this power couple, both of you were filled with integrity and honesty. I just feel like everybody in your community, your town, like knew who you guys were, and really looked up to you both. All right, it's like you guys had an appearance to maintain, but I don't feel like it was a facade. Like, I feel what you projected outwardly to the world was truly who you guys were, behind the scenes. Very full of honesty, integrity, doing the right thing, caring about community, entertaining, and being very spiritual, both of you. And this feminine, I feel she was like, she had a lot of intuition about her, but she may have just perceived it as that, but it was more like she had a lot of divine guidance from her galactic family. Okay, and I felt would like have dreams that would actually come to fruition. Like, she would be like a psychic, but this era, whenever this is, it's like it wasn't talked about, or it wasn't looked at as that type of skill. It was a woman's intuition. Like, he really relied on this feminine and like her empathic ability, or ability to like pick up vibes. Man, I just feel like she would have dreams of things that would actually come to fruition. Like, he relied on her intuition, her insight, her knowing, that like really directed a lot of decisions that he would make, okay, just because of like her gift there. So let's pull some past life cards and see what comes out there specifically. All right, so we have Native American, we have leaving or travel, and we have spouse. Okay, so I definitely feel one of you could have been of Native American heritage, or maybe both of you. I don't feel like this life is talking about that specific time frame of history, before the United States was invaded. I'll say that. I feel like that's just talking of like your heritage. Like, if there was, somebody today is of Native American heritage, I just feel like one or both of you was of that, descendant. So I feel that's a lot of what had to do with this, like, honesty, integrity, spirituality, living life the right way that I'm picking up on here, is because of these roots of the soul, this Native American energy that's coming through. And then I already felt like you guys were married and like kind of a power couple and spouse. Like, there's just your confirmation that you guys were married. And leaving and travel, again, because I feel like you guys were so well to do in such a position of power. You guys, traveled all over the place, and you guys saw things that, the average normal person couldn't see. Like, you guys were very worldly, very traveled, very educated, just a very comfortable life. But it's like you were in this position of power, all right? So let's pull some cards to look at what your twin flame journey was like. Okay, so we have dishonesty and mixed signals. We have only you, sacrifice, incomplete, And lastly, twin flame recognition. Okay, so Virgo, what I feel about this is, honestly, you guys were that couple that may bicker and fight. When you fight, it's like the whole neighborhood can hear you, but the fights are few and far between, all right? And for the rest of the time, it's like you guys are just on, like you were totally in love, like really supportive of each other. And when you would have some knockout, drag down fights, it's like you both would realize, okay, yeah, I don't want to be without you. I don't want to pretend to you that I don't need you. And with that sacrifice there, what I feel is what caused the fights has a lot to do with like business and the status that you guys had. And there was an element of maybe the masculine did travel a lot without the feminine due to his job, and that was a sacrifice for her. And maybe there were times she was suspicious of him, but at the end of the day, like, he could never stray from her, only you. So there's an element of sacrifice, and again, also, and I felt more on the feminine side, and it could be, where she was always keeping up this appearance, the house, the family, entertaining, always looking picture perfect, all of those things. And I feel like there are times in her life where she wished like that they could have just had a normal life and not been in this position of privilege and power and status, like where they could just be, crazy in love the way they felt within themselves for each other. Okay, so I don't feel like we ever really separated from each other at all. I don't feel like there was any cheating or anything like that, Virgo. This is a very beautiful connection, very supportive. And again, if we're fighting and we're, really worn down emotionally, it's like right away you would realize, I'll be incomplete without you because you're the only one. Like, you guys were in love. You recognized your connection. And I feel to some degree, in your consciousness, you were aware of like this twin flame energy and like the crystalline twin flames, like your union, felt like sacred, very spiritual, like you had this mission for humanity, and you did, because you guys were in such a position of power. And a mission for humanity isn't always like, let me teach you about spirit. It's the betterment, the upliftment, the improvement on every level. Okay, so the two of you, I really feel the reason why we were so strong and in love and aware of each other is because you guys had a big like mission for the upliftment of humanity your last lifetime. All right, so let's see where you guys left off before this lifetime. Okay, well, that one right there wanted to come. All right, so we have the reward. We have middle of journey, 555. And we have the Trinity, sign 333. Very nice. You guys still have a lot more work to do. You guys have mission that you want to fulfill with humanity, with your own soul growth. And it's like you guys were in the middle of this last lifetime. And this lifetime, there is a lot of positive energy and karma that will come into this connection when we're both fully spiritually awakened and activated and aware of each other. Okay, the Trinity there, it's just like your twin flame, and then like the spirit guide that oversees you, and like the coming together. Okay, and it's like that crystalline activation of twin flame energy. So whatever you were working on last lifetime as twin flames, for humanity, like your focus looks much more on the greater good of the all rather than your personal selves or growth for last lifetime. So this lifetime, you both are probably like humanitarians, very giving, very sharing, very empathic, very sensitive to other people and their needs. All right, so let's pull some cards and see who we are this lifetime. Hopefully it's just as beautiful, because man, you guys had a very successful and productive last lifetime for sure. All right, spiritual, or I'm sorry, life path, Knight of Wands, coming out over here under the masculine. On the feminine, we have the Four of Pentacles. So your life paths are much different this time around, okay? For the feminine, we do show that, you know, it's where last lifetime we were very comfortable financially, didn't want for anything, was in, you know, a period of plenty. This lifetime, you know, I don't feel like it's like this super oppressive, lackful life, but I do feel there's definitely periods where, you know, it's harder to get by than others for the feminine. And for the masculine over here, he's coming through as a bit of a lesser mature energy than the feminine, but it's like he is destined to awaken to himself, to his spirituality. He could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. And it's just like, I would say, you know, as he gets into like maybe his 30s, maybe 40s, he might really start shifting and changing and remembering, you know, his soul wisdom coming up from the surface from like this past lifetime. I don't know. I feel like, you know, in his early years, he's kind of shut off to that, even though he may be sensitive and giving and all that, he's kind of shut off to that. So he may be immature, act hastily, be wild, be crazy, because last lifetime he was very restricted, okay? And last lifetime, I really feel like Divine Feminine, like the life that you got this life, is what she dreamed for last lifetime, like a simpler time. Like she had everything. So she's like, I want just real love. I want us to be able to be in love with each other, and that be the most important thing about our connection and our journey together. And so you could be like, no, I would never pick this life, you know, with just the different struggles that you had. But she did, because ultimately I feel this journey, this twin flame connection, this lifetime, is there's not so much pressure on these two, okay? So let's look at the spiritual path for both of you this lifetime. All right, on the masculine, we have download. And on the feminine, we have illuminated mind. So both of you, yeah, are meant to awaken to your spiritual selves. And once that takes place, I feel, you know, your twin flame connection is much more apparent to the two of you. And in a sense, I do feel like you pick up from where you left off last lifetime, even though you guys may not be in such a position of power and status and luxury and wealth as you were last lifetime. The work that you do this lifetime is a bit different, okay? So let's pull some cards to look at your twin flame journey this lifetime and gain some more insight about that. Because with the reward here, there is, you know, something that is meant to come to both of you for all that you guys achieved last lifetime. All right, we have the Six of Karmic energy, the Seven of Heart energy, 10 of Karmic energy, Masculine of Heart energy, could also be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And lastly, Feminine of Heart energy. I love that because that's water. Here's your couple right here, the Masculine and Feminine of Heart energy. Love it. Okay, so why I love that is because I feel like our first go round, our first connection with each other, it doesn't, like, it kind of fizzles out. It's like one of you is more in a place of like status, like showy, like, you know, I want everybody to think I have the best relationship, the most attractive partner, like all these things. Like one of you is really in that mode, or maybe both of you. And it's like you guys choose the wrong people and choose initially, like you choose the wrong partner initially because you're both more focused on like the status, okay? Because you feel that from your soul, like where you used to be, okay? And it's more about status and show and what I have and this and that. Here is the beautiful thing, Virgo. you both awaken. You both awaken this lifetime, and you come into this same exact love that you had last lifetime. But this here is exactly what the feminine dreamed about last lifetime, where it's just about you two and the love that you share. And it's not like you guys have all this weight on your shoulders of like this projection and status that you must maintain. It truly is about the two of you. Like, that's what the reward is this lifetime, Virgo, is being able to be in love with each other without all of this other stuff, and really experience that like true twin flame romantic love and connection. And that's Virgo, that's where you guys end up this lifetime. Is exactly what she dreamed about and longed for last lifetime. So freaking beautiful. So Virgo, those are your messages. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.